Hi, my name is Laura Barsati, and I am here to talk to you today about 3 things that I wish I knew when I was 20 years old. The first one is to trust myself. There were so many years in my life, God, I'm in my 50s, so many years in my life that I didn't trust myself. I trusted other people's thoughts and ideas sometimes, but I didn't trust my own. Why? Well, let me just give you a story. When I was about 5 years old, I was in the library with my father, and he asked me to go up to the desk and ask for these 3 books. And I didn't want to, and so I said, I don't want to. And he looked at me and he said, what are you, a Polak? And in that moment, I thought about it because I am Polish. And what that taught me was that me being me, my own ethnicity, was not something that I could actually trust. When that happens to us as children, when we are taught things or things happen to us in our lives then that teach us that we're not able to trust ourselves, it takes us down an road that's not so healthy in our lives, our relationships, our friendships, our work, our intimate partners, and the list goes on. The second thing that I wish somebody would have taught me back then was to listen to my intuition. Your intuition is your superpower. It knows everything about you. And I mean everything. It is there to support you. It's kind of like, if you think of it, like your own individual guardian angel. And when you know how to trust your intuition, then choices that you make, people you connect with, places you go, jobs you take, literally everything in your life changes and it goes for the better. Now, I don't know about you, but in my family, trusting your intuition meant you were not trusting God, and it was not an allowed thing because you were to trust in God or a higher power. And what I've learned since then, all these years later, is that I am my higher power. I am 100% me. And that higher power that we talk about is right there within inside of us, just waiting to be used. And the third thing that I wish I would have known when I was 20 years old is that you can love. That there is true, pure, real love out there in the world. When I was young, love came with requirements. It came with whether I did things or I didn't do things. I used to hear my parents say all the time, if you loved me, you would do that. If you loved me, you would do that. You don't love me because you're not rubbing my feet, or you don't love me because whatever it is. And so, and then if I didn't do what was asked for me, it was, you don't love me, in silent treatment or in trouble, something to that effect. So I associated love with being rejected, with doing what somebody else tells you to do even if you don't want to. It broke a huge boundary in my life. And if this relates to you, it broke a huge boundary in your life. Love itself, true love that's real, has no requirements or expectations. It just doesn't. Real love is accepting somebody as they are, as is, in that very moment. And it also means having not only you being accepted by the person that you're interacting with, but also accepting them as is. And what happens then that's really fucking cool is that you get to be you and you get to shine. And you attract more of those people in your life that want to see you shine. It gets rid of the people who don't want to see you shine. And the really cool part about it is that when you don't place any requirements on love as to expectations and such, then what happens is when you do get into a relationship or you do meet somebody and you start to get to know them and you accept them as is, it forces them to accept you as is. And you get to see, when you let somebody truly be who they are 100%, then what happens is you get to see who they really are, not just in words but in actions and in everything. And then that gives you information as to whether or not you want to still be a part of this individual's life and at what capacity, or maybe not. So the one thing that I'd like to leave you with today before I go is this. We all have things in our lives that maybe we wished were differently, or things we wished we knew that we know now. And yet we're often sometimes living those old stories, things like what I just talked about. And we have the conscious choice, you have the conscious choice today, in this very moment, to make a change. To say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to just do and embrace those things that I wish I would have known. And I'm going to begin living by them, the best that I can. Keyword is the best that you can. Any kind of change or transformation in life takes time. It's not a one-time deal. So with that, my friend, I leave you to a beautiful Sunday evening. Have a great night.